fact that I'd gone through that mental trip where I wasn't a lost soul anymore, so I didn't need to be amongst the lost souls of Los Angeles. The hustlers, the two-bit thieves, the whores, crackheads. Wasn't my thing, man. My thing was just trying to get back, figure it out. I don't know. I think there's got to be some avenues to be able to help homeless people out. Open some empty army barracks up that aren't being used. You know, try to house the people. You're going to get people that don't want to come off the street. Okay, well, that's the way it goes. But there's a lot of people that don't want to be out there. But they're caught in the mix. When you're caught in that mix, man, it's tough to get off of it.
Right.
Real tough.
Yeah.
You know?
Didn't they kick out of most of the mental institutions? Didn't they close them down?
Well, yeah, Reagan closed them down in the 80s.
Closed them down, so that's why most of them...
wandering around out here?
They're wandering around out here because they close all the mental institutions down.
And the cops they drive by them. They don't want them in their car. They don't want to deal with them, you know, basically. They just let them go crazy, man, and just, you know, unless they're violent, but if they're non-violent, yelling and screaming and baying at the moon, they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't want them. They don't want, what are they going to do with them? Jails are full.
Yeah. Half of them want to go to jail just to relax.
Yeah, just to get out
just
of
to get a hot
yeah. I know a couple guys that are that way that I met in Santa Monica that just were habitual criminals because they couldn't function on the street.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle it. That was the only way for them to survive. The homeless situation is not LA, man. It's across the United States. Everywhere. It's an epidemic. It's a tidal wave. It's getting bigger and bigger. And
It is getting big.
until it's addressed, you know, it's just going to get worse. You know, you go to Texas, you go to New Mexico, they don't give you any money. They don't give you any general relief. You have to show a utility bill to get food stamps. So therefore, you can't be outside and get any kind of help whatsoever. I mean, I've been through cross country, and I'm telling you, the summers are brutal, the winters are cold. You know, I mean, like Mike said, he came from Boston, so he obviously comes from a city that, you know, has the weather changes, spring, fall, summer, winter. The weather here is pretty much a lot better. Mm-hmm. And you have help from social service departments, which you don't have in other places.
Now, how many people do you think are stuck in a situation like yourself, whereas the check is all they have, and they don't want to jeopardize that?
God.
So it leads them to not try to find a job.
Quite a few people in this country are on that, you know, are in that situation right now.
Because you get a job, then what's happening is you lose your job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you're stuck. You don't get no check.
Yeah, you can't work if you're on SSI. If you're showing any kind of income, they determine nowadays that you're capable of working, you will be cut off.
Yeah.
And unless you're making big money, then it's just not worth it to jeopardize your income, like Kevin said. I mean, if you work under the table, that's great. But if you don't, you're screwed.